Can I buy real estate with my 401k? In this video, we're going to show you how you can take your retirement account or get a retirement account and turn it from this to this in a very short amount of time. In this video, you're going to learn how a real 401k can take you and your family to financial freedoms you never thought possible. We're going to cover all of that. And you're also going to learn why the financial institutions really, quite frankly, don't want you to learn about these. Because in all reality, it's kind of a conflict of interest for them. We're also going to learn how you can do this just more than real estate. I'm going to show you how you can use a retirement account for gold, stocks, bonds, crypto, whatever you want. It's all about how it is set up. It is so crucial. All of that and many, many more. And I've got a little bonus at the very end that's going to show you how to put your retirement on steroids, go through the ceiling. No cost, no penalties from the government whatsoever. Stick around, we'll show you all that. So let's just get this out of the bag right now. Is it possible to buy investment real estate in your retirement account? The simple answer to that is absolutely. Okay, the challenge is most third-party administrators like the Pensco, the InvestTrusts out there, whatever, aren't capable of having the administration for that. I'm not going to bore you with the ERISA code. It's 92,000 pages long. It was written in 1974. I am not creating this. I did not make this up. This isn't a Saen Higgins retirement account. This has been available forever. 401ks have been around, well, they really started taking off in the 80s. The bottom line is most of the financial institutions have made you think that you have to have somebody else as the administrator and the trustee. To the point, I'm going to say that if you talk to 10 financial advisors at any one of the big firms, 9 of them are going to say that somebody else has to manage the money. And it's just simply not true. In the ERISA code on 401ks, if you're the administrator and you're the trustee of it, you can do anything you want because you're the administrator and the trustee. You determine the risk factor and the type of investment. This is crucial. Now, I want you to think about this. That's not in the financial institution's best interest to have you be able to invest in anything you want. So what's in their best interest is not in your best interest, which is a conflict of interest as far as I'm concerned, okay? Because in a financial institution like Schwab or any one of the big ones out there at the time of this recording, they are not allowed to invest in certain things because of what they call the widows and orphan rule. If it's considered high risk, they cannot invest in it. Now, whether real estate or crypto, two different sides of the coin, are high risk is up to you if you're the administrator and the trustee of your own private retirement account. And once that happens, you can kind of do whatever you want because it's your money. Okay, so legally speaking, an administrator cannot trade options in your retirement account. It's considered too risky. Even if you gave them permission to do that, they couldn't do it. Okay, they could lose their license. But me, as my own administrator and trustee, I could go out there and do Forex trading, option trading. Not recommending that because it's highly speculative, but you can. I can also buy physical gold. I can buy Airbnbs and put them to my retirement account. I can buy rental, all these things. So let's just talk about what you can't put inside your own private retirement account. That's a little easier. If you're physically benefiting from the asset, you're not allowed to do that. So I can't buy a house and live in it. Okay, I can't buy a ski cabin and go ski and stay in the cabin. So if I'm physically benefiting from this asset, I can't do it. Can I buy a rental property and rent it? Of course I can. Can I buy a property in the mountains that's an Airbnb that other people ski in? Absolutely. Okay, so, and here's the other thing I want to always say to people. If you have to ask, I wonder if the IRS would allow this in my private retirement account, you probably shouldn't make an investment in the first place because if it's that speculative. This is your own money. This is your hard-earned money. Treat it with respect. So can you put real estate in it? Absolutely. Now here's where it gets crazy. If you're the trustee and the administrator, you can hear me say that over and over again, your private retirement account is your money. It's really like a business, if you will. So it's got its own tax ID number. It's going to be a 401k. For you high net worth individuals, we can show you how to do other things on there. But you're looking at basically a 401k, which has its own tax ID. So when I'm buying a piece of property, it's being bought in whatever name you choose for this retirement account. It could be, anyways, it doesn't matter what it is. Whatever that name is, that property is in that name. Okay, so that when I sell that property, all the money goes back into that account. There is no tax consequence for that because it is a tax sheltered environment. And the reason I say it's like a business, because if I have 2 or 3 different rental properties in here and the rent comes in, it goes into that account, okay? If I need a new refrigerator on this one over here, I take the money, I buy a new refrigerator. It's operated as a business. Okay, here's the other key thing on this is asset protection. Let's talk about this. No matter what happens, unless I'm doing fraud, nobody can penetrate and try to take money out of your retirement account for, a lawsuit or whatever. So the asset protection within this retirement account is unbelievable. So I can operate this over here. Now, the other nice thing about this is, let's say I worked at a company and I had a big retirement account there. I no longer work there. I do this all the time with people, and I show them how to say, okay, let's set up your private retirement account. Let's take this old retirement account from the company and let's move it into this account. Now that this money's over here, you're watching it. I have a saying, that gets managed and monitored improves dramatically. So if I've got my account and I'm watching all the T's and everything, it's just going to go up naturally. Over here in this 401k that somebody else is managing, I don't know what they're doing. I just get a statement every once in a while. I have nothing to do with how they invest this money. Over here, I do. Okay, so I'm buying real estate. I'm getting rental property. I'm building this up. There is no reason why you can't take a small amount of money in a retirement account. In other videos, I've showed you how to get properties for $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 and own them free and clear. Now you've got $150,000, $200,000 property in your retirement account. You do that again and again and again. Those are the types of things that you want to do when you're doing your retirement account. So you have to have a bank. This is really important. The bank has to have the bank accounts. They're not the ones setting up the retirement account. No. Do not go into Wells Fargo, Bank of America and say, hey, I want to open up a private retirement account. They're just going to open you up an IRA. That's not what you want to do. You have to have the right 401k. There's companies out there that'll show you how you set that up. And we'll put some links down below for that later on. So what you're looking at is once you've got that set up, well, I need to move money over. Where do I move it into? So you have to have the correct bank. This is how, conflict of interest this is. Bank of America and Wells Fargo actually sent out memos saying don't open up private retirement accounts for people unless the people will allow us to manage the money in there. They just didn't want to do it. Okay, they only want your money under management, and that's not fair, but it is what it is. We've got a whole plethora of banks out there that are allowed to do this. So now you've got your accounts, you've got your private retirement account over here, you can do whatever you want. Here is the kicker, okay? I've got some rental properties inside my retirement account. I own them free and clear because I bought them through tax lien certificates. I have no debt on them. But another deal pops up and I need to do this deal and I have no cash. Because you are the administrator and the trustee of your own retirement account, there's literally 2 sentences in the ERISA code says, if this is the fact, I can borrow money from one of these pieces of real estate that I own in my retirement account, use that money for this deal over here. Let's say we borrow, a couple $100,000 from this property, do another deal, sell it for $400,000, I pay the bank back the $200,000. The $200,000 profit has to go back into the retirement account. I'm not allowed to pay taxes on it. Drop the mic. Did you hear what I said? I'm not allowed because I used an underlying asset to secure the loan that was owned by my retirement account. The IRS is not allowed to charge you taxes on the profit of that. If that didn't make your head just go, ba-doom, I don't know what would. This is how I know for a fact if you follow my method, you're going to be able to take a small amount of money in a retirement account and absolutely, like I said before, put it on steroids. I want you to think about the implications of being able to take your property. Then I get people say, oh, if I'm doing all my deals inside my retirement account, I have no money to spend. Well, I didn't say to do them all in your retirement account. But then it becomes pretty tricky where you're over here going, I only need to make X number of money because I want to do all of those deals over here. And see, imagine this for a minute. Imagine if you just did one deal in your retirement account a year for the next 5 years and you had over $1 million in equity in the next 5 years. Not going to happen if you have your 401k over here just waiting for the stock market to come back. How many times have you heard a financial advisor when the stock market went down said, don't worry, we're in it for the, finish the statement, long haul. Not the case. I don't even know what that means, okay? I know this over here. I can take a small dollar amount and explode it into the ceiling and go from there. There is just this is not new. I did not create this. You can do this with a Roth. You can do this with a conventional, whatever you want to do, but you have to do this. And I've been sharing this with people for over 15 years. And the hope, everything in people's eyes are like, oh my God, I know how long it took me to get where I'm at. With this one strategy right here, I'm going to be able to blow it through the moon and really realize the dreams that I've always wanted to do. If you want to know more information on this, I've got a brand new training on this. Okay, hit the link down below. It's free. Okay, higginsmethod.com. Everything we talked about and more, I'm going to go through how to set this up inside there. And for those of you that sign up for that, I've got a free booklet I just printed. It's called America's Best Kept Secret on Investing Out There. I'll send that to you as a gift. This is my gift to you, saying Saen Higgins, saying God bless and good luck. We'll see you on the other side.